Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jen Carroll podcast. I've decided I need to just put my name on it, own it, and step into it because I guess we've got stuff to do. I don't know where the podcast is going to go, but I have a sense of it. I would like to create a space for all of us to deal with the things that we're going to have to deal with in the days ahead. In particular, I want to offer severe support for women, especially women. And it's not fair to say just women. It's just that women really took one in the jaw, everybody. We took one really hard in the jaw this week. And the minions have not wasted any time pointing out that our body, their choices, I think what Charlie Kirk said. So we need a place where we come together. And I don't want good men too. I really do want the people that believe that there's a better way to live to come together. And we're going to need to hang on to each other. It's all I can figure out in the last couple of days. Yesterday, of all things, I had a therapy appointment. It's EMDR for my mom's dying. And it's rough. It's rough. Hospice just called. I can't. This mom dying thing has been huge. But you add the whole nation dying and democracy dying to it, and it's a whole different flavor, right? But one of the things that happened in therapy yesterday, which helped me a little bit, is this guy, he's using EMDR. He's really great. And I love watching how he's thinking because then I can kind of know where he's going, right? I can figure it out. But what he talked about is the personas. That's my word, personas. I call them personas, but those things inside us, those different sides of us, the different pieces of us that make up who we are. And I walked in yesterday, and I don't really use language like that. It's new for me to use that kind of a paradigm, which is like, who's all the people in your body now? I don't. It's kind of weird, right? It's super wackadoo. But it ended up really resonating because I realized what I went into the appointment with was a woman. My femaleness feels crushed, and personally, I've been through a lot of crush. I mean, as a woman, I've been through a lot of crush. I worked in Silicon Valley. Crush is what they do. So I'm kind of used to feeling really bad, but I felt really bad as a woman. But what I realized through the nature of the discussion where we went with therapy is that my protector, which is the part of me that I think has raged forward since I was 3 years old, is to be a protector because I saw my mom being victimized by my dad, right? So firstborn daughter, pretty much going to start to be a protector, protected my brothers, protected my nephews, protected my kid, protected my friends. Like that's how I roll. Even in my role at work, I'm like protecting the business. It's like that's a label that just resonates for me. So my thought was that it would be really good for us to all find our strong person, whatever that person is inside of us. And it doesn't really, gender's not really an issue at that point. We're really trying to find who that is inside of us that is our protector or our, some people it's a warrior. I don't love the word warrior because it implies that you will follow blindly a leader. Warriors are really basically soldiers that are obeying. And I prefer to think of, I'm a lot more sassy than that. I don't follow instructions very well. If you're listening to this, you probably don't follow instructions very well either. The very nature that you're listening to me means that you're capable of having big thoughts and that you're capable of seeing good in others and that you are capable of helping others. Because why would you be here if that's weren't who you are? Probably another thing that we have in common is trauma. And I'm not going to become a trauma podcast, don't worry, but I am going to always be sensitive to it because there are many of us, particularly, again, women, particularly LGBTQ, people of color. We're going to have a whole bunch of people who are going to be second-class citizens. We've all known it. The world has already told us this, but it's going to get bad and it's going to get overt. And it's going to be noisy and it's going to be hateful and ugly. And so we need safe places for ourselves, right? So today I thought I'd just come in and talk and share a little bit about how we've been talking in my family and the things that I'm already looking at. And so I made a little bit of a blue list. It's not a little bit, it's for sure a blue list, but it's not very long. But I'm going to call it the blue list. And sometimes I'm going to have a blue list because there are things we just need to make sure that we have figured out and that we know what we're doing. So today for the blue list, we're starting super simple. This is really basic, but I'm already seeing so much. I just listened to Jimmy Kimmel, which is really good. But we have a lot of children who don't understand what happened and they don't need to know what's coming, but they don't understand because the thing is, it was so clear to them, right? If you're a kid, Kamala was good and hope and promise and inclusive. I think inclusive was a big part of it. And the alternative was exclusive. He doesn't want to let everybody in. He's already knows who's putting into offices. And it was seen as the party of darkness and badness. I mean, they spew hate. They commit crimes. They don't care for women. The, your body, my choice is what Charlie Kirk said as he rallied the young men out to vote on Tuesday, like rats in a ship. So we're going to start off with just taking care of ourselves, and we're going to tune in to the people around us. And I'll share with you, my daughter and her boyfriend yesterday had some people over that are marginalized. One's the transgender kid that I love very much. Another one who just works cybersecurity around here and is a friend of theirs from ever, but they just talked and they hung out and they laughed. She told me they ended up laughing. It kind of made everybody feel safer because you got to see your people, right? So I'm suggesting that what everybody should do is just check in with your people, the people that you care about, and just let them know it's going to be okay and you're okay and we're going to do this. We're going to survive. It's going to be okay. But also listen. And you might hear some fears come out. So be prepared for fears. Also, get some people over. My daughter was always terrible about telling me stuff and told Aunt Sandra everything. So open the doors, get people in your house, let other people talk. That's why I was really happy last night. The Katie's having like a little mini cocktail party, not really a cocktail party, more like a grieving session, but get people talking and listen to them and see where their fears are. Some of them you could assuage. Some of them aren't going to come true. Some of them aren't going to come true right away. But it's good to connect with everybody. And then remember this feeling. I don't know about you, but I'm having tremendous cognitive dissonance between what I saw. I believe everything I saw was true. Kamala was packing rallies to the gills, waiting room only, wait people outside. There was momentum everywhere on social media with young people. So the fact that everything we saw doesn't align with what happened on Tuesday, I don't know about you, but that makes my brain almost like it's like a circular reference in Excel. Like I'm just spinning on that. I still cannot align what I saw and what happened. And there might be something evil that happened. There's probably a good chance something evil that happened. It's happened before. We've been going on this for 8 years now, right? Good chance something bad happened, but I can't fix it. So I'm going to have to just accept where we are right now. So, but I'm just saying, if you feel that, that's a legitimate feeling. Okay, the next thing I'm going to tell you, though, is very pragmatic. Get your house in order. So here's the deal. You need to make sure you know where all your money is and how much you have and what it's doing. You need to be able, this is going to be a police state. I mean, I don't know how fast it's going to be a police state, but in a police state, you need to have your shit together. You carry papers, you have ID. So everybody in your family needs to get ID together. If you don't have passports, it is being encouraged to get your passport, not so much that you're going to travel, but that's a permanent set piece of ID that is recognized around the globe. And you may need that kind of identification. And it's going to get jammed up when he starts breaking down all the agencies. So getting a passport now is not a terrible idea if you can do it. Some people can't do it. It costs money too. So you may not be able to do it. It's just one of the things to keep in mind. The other is just to have good current ID. If you don't have birth certificates, I thought about putting this on the list, but that's another expense. You should be able to get birth certificates later. That should be fine, but you're probably going to need them to prove who you are. I'm sorry, but we're going to head into a police state. So get that together. And then this is the reason you need to figure out your money is that this is the biggest thing. And I bookmarked it. I have a list. The list is on my blog as usual. But the big thing is that government services are going to be impacted in January. I don't know how fast they're going to do this. Trump is not, a great leader or anything. He doesn't know how to command and control all that crap. He doesn't know how to run a business. His business was like, what, 3 people and his kids? It was ridiculous. So what he'll do is he'll farm that out to everybody, right? Heritage Foundation and Project 2025, they're ready. I told you they'd be ready. They're ready. They're coming in. What he'll do is look at where he could make it, where not him. Sorry, let's just take Trump out of this. This isn't about Trump. What the mandate folks are going to do is go in and figure out what they needed, what their primary priorities are. They're going to figure out their priorities and they're going to start hitting agencies right where they live. The reason this matters to you. So all of that, I have a list. You can go look at the list. But here's what you need to pay attention to for you. If in any way you have a government subsidy, assistance, some kind of role that the government plays financially in your world. So you live on Section 8 housing, or you have um, senior housing, or you have any kind of special, you get payments for being handicapped or disabled, whatever. I'm sorry, I used the word handicapped, but you know what I mean? Like you have any kind of those things where you rely on government assistance. That's what you need to pay attention to. Even me, I thought I was going to have Social Security for the rest of my life. I know I read the budget and everything, but I really figured the Democrats would figure it out because it's a fundamental program and it's a Jenga piece that if we pull out Social Security, you don't even know how far the puzzle's going to fall so hard. That Social Security money keeps the economy going. It is important. So you need to think about all the areas where you are susceptible to surprise. Let's just call it this. Let's just call it your surprise susceptibility list and see if you can spell that or say it after one drink. Be very aware where you are getting help and where that help might change, and it could be catastrophic for you. So that's why I want you to plan now. And then the last thing I want you to do, well, I want you to know that tariffs are going to go up. So if you need to purchase this, this is what I'm reading today, planning to purchase a refrigerator, a stove, a dishwasher, a washing machine, any of those things that carry a significant price tag as it is. And I would always argue, don't buy as computerized as possible, buy the least amount of computers, because I just don't know how long we're going to be in this situation. Tariffs are going to impact a lot of things. They're going to impact big purchases. He's talking about up to 60 to 100% for goods bought from China. That's going to kill my crafting because I'm not going to buy I buy crap from China. I do because it's cute in my crafts. But we're going to see a lot of stuff without cuteness, without my little Chinese crafts, because I'm not paying all those prices. You probably don't believe this, but crochet is just not a very profitable business. They do it for the love. But the idea is that the cars, if you were going to plan to buy a car, if you were going to do construction, this is all going to go up tremendously. So if you remember, getting a used car in the Trump administration was almost impossible because of tariffs. It drove prices up so high. So this is your act fast, act now warning to go get going, because things are going to get really weird. And if there's something you need, if you were planning a remodel, nice knowing you, all that labor and all, I mean, not the labor, I'm sorry, labor might be gone, but your materials costs are going to go up significantly. And like 60 to 100% is nuts. Now, my theory is that he's going to find out that you can't tariff everything because it doesn't work like he thinks. It's just going to make America ridiculous, and we're going to have it go into a recession really quickly. So that's why I need you just to pay attention to those things you need to do, because what we're going to all probably need to do is sound like those psycho people that start to become a little bit survivalist in our preparedness. And I'm just trying to prepare for things that will surprise us. We can't prepare for everything, can we? The last thing I want to tell you is a cool movement that's starting over on TikTok, and it's called the Blue Bracelet Movement. And it's really just a way to show that you're blue, that you're still woke. But damn it, I love you woke people, because you're paying attention and you know that there's a possibility for things to get better. Woke is what changed everything. Being unwoke is the worst. You might as well just be a Trump zombie. So I don't want to call them MAGA anymore. They're just zombies to me. They're the lemmings out there, and they're going to just not know what hit them. But we're going to be smart, and we're going to take care of each other, and we're going to come together here. And I would like you to please follow the podcast if this interests you. I'm going to need you. This is what's going to give me strength as well. All right. Come to the blog if you want the list. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and share. Let's see if we can get a group of powerful people here who are going to try to do change in whatever way we can. Whatever way we can, as long as we can. Let's go. Thank you for listening to the Jen Carroll podcast.